Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Madison. I am a mom of 3 boys, ages 12, almost 4 in a couple of days, and 18 months. And I'm currently pregnant with my 4th baby, 5th pregnancy, because I did have a miscarriage. And we are just so excited about this little baby. I had a miscarriage 4 months ago, and it was really hard. It was my first miscarriage ever. And I will always think about that baby that we lost. But we are so excited about this baby and this new life. And I am, how far along am I? I'm 4 weeks, and so my favorite app is probably the Pregnancy Plus app. I am 4 weeks and 5 days pregnant. So almost 5 weeks. So I thought I would go ahead and share. It looks really creepy right now. But what's cool about the Pregnancy Plus app is it'll show you the exact size. Like right now, that's the size. If you guys can see that. Just a teeny tiny little thing. And it shows you like where in your body and all of that fun stuff. So, you know, things are very fresh and new right now. I am not someone who waits until the first trimester is over to announce my pregnancy. Never going to be that type of person, even with having gone through a miscarriage. I like to share things, and I would not want to go through a miscarriage in silence. So anyway, that's just my personal preference. But I figured let's just get straight into this video. I am so excited. Another app I really like is the What to Expect app. It's kind of like the book. Normally I'm more of an actual book person, like a real book, but I actually prefer the app to the book. The What to Expect app is, book is so big and bulky, and I don't know. So that's another one. And then I also have the Nurture app, which I think was like from Glow. Glow was the app I used when I was like tracking my periods and all that for trying to conceive. So I am really excited to do these pregnancy videos, update videos. I don't know how popular they're going to be, but this is my vlog channel. If you don't know, I do have a cleaning channel, and that's like my actual job. So my vlog channel is just for fun. So even if they're not totally popular, I don't know if people are really into pregnancy update videos anymore. That's okay, because I think it's fun to look back on, and I think it's fun to share. So, you know, so we'll see how many of these I end up doing. But if you guys do enjoy them, please give this a thumbs up and let me know in the comments that you do want me to keep doing these updates, and that will definitely encourage me to make the time to do them. So let's see, I have a list on my phone of everything I want to mention to you guys. So I thought I would mention my weight in these videos because I am someone who struggles with my weight when it comes to pregnancy. I gain a ton of weight. I didn't with my first, but I was super young. But with my last 2, I gained like ridiculous amount, like 60 plus pounds, way too much weight. It's not healthy, and I really don't want to do that again. I told myself that with my 2nd or 3rd child. I really don't want to do that again. And once the nausea hits, I feel that's when it's tough, because when I'm nauseous, I just feel like eating and eating and eating and eating. And then I also have binge eating issues. So my hope, I've kind of been back on the binge eating train. I've gained 5 pounds recently. Christmas set me off. I had sugar, and I haven't been able to get off. I get really addicted to sugar, and I need to cut it out of my life. But anyway, that's what really causes my binge eating is sugar. So I currently weigh about 150 pounds. Now in the morning, I weigh about 148. But then throughout the day, if I were to just step on a scale, I'd weigh about 150 pounds. So I was down to 145. At one point, I was even down to 140. That's the lowest I've gotten since like before my 2nd pregnancy that I had, 5 years ago. So that has been good. I think I want to get down eventually. My fighting weight that I want to get down to is like 135, 130-ish is what I think I would like to get down to. I just really want to lose the tummy and lose like the little bit of double chin that I have. So whatever weight it takes to like get to that, of course, with exercise and all of that. So I think that's what I want to get to. But of course, now that I'm pregnant, I know I'm going to gain weight. I just don't want to gain a ton. It's not necessary. It's not healthy. So I'm currently at 150, and I'm really hoping to stay at that for a while. And some things I'm going to do is I'm trying to just eat a healthy, balanced like meals throughout the day. Like I have a lot of eggs in the morning, because those are also really good for pregnant women. For lunch, I've been having like carrots and crackers and things with hummus, and different like veggies with hummus. I've been having, for dinner, I've enjoyed like cauliflower rice and shrimp, like a stir fry. So I'm trying to just like eat a healthy, balanced, meal. But then what I need to do is cut out the sugar, because anytime I have sugar, it's just not good. I did find these protein bars that are really good. I think they're the Luna bars, and they're called s'mores. They taste like a Rice Krispie treat with chocolate. So good. I think they're my favorite protein bar. So I'm hoping to use that as my dessert. I did that last night and it did help. I didn't go binge on desserts. So that's my weight. Let's see what else. I know I want to talk about symptoms, obviously. I'll talk about that in a minute. I wanted to mention I did schedule my baby doctor's appointment for like the second week in February when I'm 8 weeks pregnant. But then I have had some like cramping and stomach pains, and it's gotten me worried. I thought my period was going to start, which you guys probably already know this if you've watched my other videos. But I really didn't think I was pregnant because of that. Now, a lot of people told me that cramping is normal. I did call the nurse, and she told me that mild cramping can be normal. But because of my previous history with the miscarriage, she went ahead and upped my first appointment to 6 weeks. Now, the problem with that, though, is you can't always see things. It's difficult to find things at 6 weeks, but I feel better about them monitoring me if I need to go in again or whatever. Then okay, but I just feel better about having called and just going with what the nurse suggests, since I have been through a miscarriage recently. So that's what we're doing. So that's actually like next week that I'm going into that appointment. So very, very exciting. I really hope they're able to see something or hear a heartbeat or whatever, but we'll see. So that's my first appointment. Now, symptoms. So I mentioned the cramping and bloating. I feel like the cramping has died down, which I think is a good sign. Maybe that was like during the implantation time. I'm not sure when that ends, but maybe I'm nearing the end of that, and maybe that's why the cramping has gone down. But my stomach is extremely bloated, as you guys could probably see in that thumbnail. Not only have I not just like lost all of the belly fat from my previous pregnancies, but I also have just been crazy bloated, which is a pregnancy symptom, which makes me feel good because I never got any major of my normal pregnancy symptoms when I had my miscarriage. At 6 weeks is when I normally start feeling horribly nauseous, and I didn't have that with my last pregnancy. So I'm still feeling good, not feeling nauseous yet, just maybe here and there a tad, but nothing like it gets to. I have heard though that when you're older, let me know if you have experienced this. I have heard, like my mom said, she had 5 kids. I'll have to ask her about me because I can't remember what she said about me. I think she was like 30-ish when she had me. Was she 30? No. She was 35 when she had me, and she was like almost 40 she was 40 when she had my little sister. She had 5 girls. So I'm number 4. So I know with my sister, who she was 40, so that's 10 years older than me, she had like no nausea. I'll have to ask though about me when she was 35. I'm 30, so still younger than that, but I have heard that as you get older, the nausea gets less. So fingers crossed for that. This is my first pregnancy in my 30s. Fingers crossed the nausea is not as bad this time. However, the nausea was the worst of all my pregnancies with my third, and I was like 28. So we'll see, but not experiencing that yet. One other thing about the stomach pain. So anytime I'm like very active, like the other day, I started to be nervous that I was having a miscarriage because but I was very active. I went to a cycling class only for 30 minutes. They're normally an hour, but my baby started crying and he, didn't want to stay at the daycare, so they called me back. So I only had a 30-minute cycling class, but then I did like a 45-minute yoga, maybe 30 to 45-minute yoga workout, and then I was doing some intense cleaning for my cleaning channel. So I was very active that day, and I had like, when you eat a lot and you go for a run, you get like a cramp. That's how it felt, except for I wasn't eating a lot and I wasn't like physically running, but I was very active. So once though that I calmed down and sat down, the pain went away, which I read is a good sign. And I did tell the nurse this when I called, and she didn't seem too overly concerned about it. You start Googling and you read things like ectopic, however you say that, pregnancy and all of that. And so it's not good to Google. I started to get really nervous for my health and the baby's health, but praying that both are good. So anyway, I have had some fears. I guess I could mention this. I hate even bringing this up, but this is a pregnancy update. And this is something that's been going on with me. I've been having some fears about my own health, which is not normal. I've always just believed that I will be fine. I've had healthy pregnancies, even with gaining too much weight, and I've been fine. But I have had 3 C-sections. This will be my 4th, which is nerve-wracking. And then there was an Instagrammer who was pregnant and with her 5th and recently died. And that just scared me so much. Like, leaving my children and my husband is just a huge fear of mine now. And I don't know. So that's something like with anxiety that I'm dealing with in this pregnancy, is fears for my own health. But I really like my OBGYN for this pregnancy. So going and seeing her, I think will be good, going early at 6 weeks. And I'm going to voice my concerns and fears to her. And hopefully she will help me calm down a little bit in that arena. So another symptom that I have had is crazy dreams. And now this is typical for me with every pregnancy, except for I can't remember with my miscarriage. I feel like it was not this extreme, which is maybe a sign that pregnancy wasn't going to work out. But every single night, I think I even wrote some of the dreams down. I don't know if you guys are even interested in this, but oh well. So weird dreams. I dreamed that my husband was leaving me for this unattractive older woman, and me telling him, but I'm pregnant, and him like not caring, which is so not like him. He is extremely dedicated to our marriage and our family and our kids and everything. So not like him at all, but just a crazy, vivid, felt so real dream. And then another weird dream I had was I was either at my sister's wedding, or she actually did just get married, or my best friend's wedding. She got married like 5 years ago or something like that, or 6 years ago, a while ago, which is crazy to think. But anyway, so I was at one of their weddings and I had a daughter in it, which, always gives me hope, but I'm sure I've dreamed of daughters before. She was a little girl and she was the flower girl. But I kept having to like change her clothes, and then I was like a bridesmaid and I kept having to change my clothes. And I ended up being late and coming out after the bride, and everyone was like laughing at me and the bride was annoyed, and it was just like humiliating, that dream. So yeah, weird dreams, and it's like every single night. Those are just a couple of them. I can't even remember. That's what I wrote down from a few days ago. I can't remember what last night's dream was, but it was another really weird one. Let's see. One thing I want to do to help prevent the weight gain and just besides eating healthy, is doing yoga. I was running with my last pregnancy, but I had a miscarriage and it's kind of put this fear in my mind of running. So I don't think I'll do that. I do have an elliptical right here, so I think I might get back to doing the elliptical a little bit. I was doing cycling, like cycling classes. And then, just a minute, buddy, I'm almost done. But I thought yoga would be a really good thing for pregnancy. Okay guys, sorry, my battery died on my camera and the lighting kind of changed, so I had to move around a little bit. But anyway, I really like doing yoga with Adrienne, her YouTube channel. Every year at the beginning of the year, she has like a 30-day yoga challenge, a video every day. So I've started doing that. Of course, I'm a little late, but I started doing that. My last pregnancy, I was actually like farther along at that time, and in January, and I tried to start the yoga and it was too hard on my body. It was like painful and it was not working. So I'm really hoping by starting yoga earlier in my pregnancy that my body will, be able to just naturally keep going with the yoga as my belly grows and everything. So fingers crossed with that. I think yoga could be a really good thing for me during this pregnancy. And let's see. Okay, the last thing I wrote is just talking about gender. I am just so open and honest about gender disappointment, and I feel like it should be talked about more and that it shouldn't be a shameful thing. I feel like there are so many things that people put shame on others about, and I just think it's so wrong. And so then I'm a big, this is another personality thing. I think I talked about this in my haul, which by the way, I have all my haul stuff. I have like a huge Ray Dunn haul and just a bunch of other stuff. It's all down here from filming a bunch of videos today. So I'm not sure if that video will be up yet when this goes up, But yeah, check it out if it is. But I love shopping. It's so much fun. But anyway, so what was I saying? Something about gender disappointment and shame. Oh, but I am, like, as far as personalities go, I'm really big on being authentic and real. And when I see people who find out the gender and they're disappointed, particularly men seem to, because they hide their emotions more than women do. You can tell they're disappointed, but they put this fake smile, they plaster this fake smile on their face, and they act like everything's fine. And I just don't like that. I feel like that's wrong, it's fake, and it's okay. Like, you can still love your child and feel gender disappointment at the same time. Like, I don't get how people can't understand that that's a thing. But anyway, the last pregnancy I had my miscarriage, I was freaking out about the gender. It was getting very close within a couple of weeks of doing the sneak peek test, and I was having extreme anxiety. I couldn't even sleep the night before. I think something was going on with my body. The miscarriage was starting or whatever. And I couldn't sleep the night before, and then I was having high anxiety. Like, this gender disappointment and my anxiety really go together. And with me, my anxiety manifests with thinking things are a bigger deal than they are. And in my heart, though, like, I have a daughter out there, and so it's a big deal that I don't have her in my arms. So anyway, this time around, I'm trying to trust God. This is tough for me, guys. I've been angry with God. I know that's horrible. It's horrible. But, you know, if you're this far in my update video, then you can know this about me. Oh, it makes me want to cry, but pregnancy hormones, okay? I've been angry because I prayed for a daughter, and I prayed, and with this last one, I just got really angry. And I feel like that's so wrong of me. It's a sinful thing of me, even though I think gender disappointment is okay and a normal feeling. I think being mad at God may be normal, but it isn't right, you know? So I'm trying to not be mad at him anymore and to trust him and trust that whatever gender of child he gives me is perfect, fearfully and wonderfully made. There's a psalm that I posted on my Instagram. I want to memorize it. It's so good. The whole thing is so good. I feel like I need to pull it up right now because it's just so good, and I want to read it to you guys. I took like a picture of it. But it was weird. I was telling my husband, I was having like kind of a meltdown about it, although I've been better this time around than with my last pregnancy about trying to trust God. And, you know, I'll be very disappointed if it's another boy, but I'm trying to not be as upset. I think I was like in shock last time. This time I won't be as shocked. But I was telling my husband about my anger with God, and I was saying to him something like, are things meant to be? Am I meant to have these children, or is it really just a coin flip? You know, and feeling upset about that and feeling like, you know, are we meant to have this many girls and this many boys or whatever? But I don't think it's about girl or boy. It's just about that specific child. And, you know, I believe that, you know, a part of you is if you're a girl or boy. It's just a part of you, you know. And so I was scrolling through Instagram, and I saw this girl who had 2 boys and then like 4 girls or something like that. And with her last girl, she just posted, like, on it, she said, Psalm 139, 13. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. So all she wrote was for Psalm 139, 13. And in that moment, I just thought, I need to look this up. So I looked it up, and that's what it said, and it like struck me. So then I looked up all Psalm 139, and man, it hit me. So I'm going to read you guys the whole thing, but let me quickly say something about it just in case you don't want to hear the whole thing. So it says, Psalm 139:13, for you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. So I may read this whole thing, but just that even, you know, reminded me that yes, each one of us are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are knit together by God in our mother's womb or whatever, you know, and God has a plan for each of my children, and I love them so much. I feel this daughter in my heart. I feel that which this is so emotional, but I feel she's out there, and I miss her, and I desire her, and But if this baby is a boy, he, God did have a plan in that, and it's not just random, and it's not just, luck of the draw of what, whether you have girls or boys. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but this is what I have been feeling. So let me pull myself together and try to read this to you guys. Whew, this pregnancy update got emotional. Okay, Psalm 139. For the director of music of David, a psalm. O Lord, you have searched me and you know me. See that? Just and he knows what's in my heart too, You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you know it completely, O Lord. You hem me in behind the before, and you have laid your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me and the light will become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is a light to you. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. I think about my unformed baby's body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, O God! How vast is the sum of them! Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I am still with you. If only you would slay the wicked, O God! Away from me, you bloodthirsty men. They speak of you with evil intent. Your adversaries misuse your name. Do I not hate those who hate you, O Lord, and abhor those who rise up against you? I have nothing but hatred for them. I count them my enemies. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way of everlasting. So that last part too reminds me, he talks about casting away anyone that's against God, and then he kind of says look at my anxious thoughts, and search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there's any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. So I know that even though it's okay for me to feel disappointment and to yearn for my daughter, that this anger with God has not been good for me, and it's just not good. And we all have sinful natures and things that we do that aren't good, So anyway, I just thought randomly, that was not on my list. I have a list of things I was going to talk about in this pregnancy update that was not on it, but I just felt led to share that with you guys. I am not a perfect Christian. I am a very imperfect Christian, actually. Woo! Okay, pregnancy hormones. Let's calm it down. But yeah, I just thought I would share that. And I think sometimes it's nice to hear from an imperfect Christian, not, okay, we're all imperfect, I know that, but I mean, someone who's not super deep in their faith and super faithful and just so dedicated. I feel like a lot of times I hear from people like that, and sometimes it makes me, which this is my fault, not theirs, but feel bad about myself because I'm not on their level. So if you're on my level, I feel ya. But anyway, I'm just going to end this in a tearful note. But this is a very real and raw pregnancy update, and I hope if you're still with me that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please be sure to subscribe and click the bell when I post to be notified when I post new videos, and I'll see you next time.